Good evening, everyone. Welcome once again to the Book Butler, where stories arrive wrapped in mystery and unboxing is an art form. Today we'll be unboxing a collection of special editions devoted to the art of mystery. The first book is The Last Murder at the End of the World by Stuart Turton. This is a Waterstones exclusive edition. The cover features a dusk, twilight color palette, soft teals, pinks, and oranges, with a lighthouse motif near the horizon. The spine and cover design flow into one another, with continuity in color and imagery. The stenciled edges fade from deep ocean teal to warm sunset gold, mirroring the horizon on the cover. The story takes place on an island. The rest of the world was destroyed by a fog that swept the planet, killing anyone it touched. On the island, it is idyllic. 122 villagers and 3 scientists living in peaceful harmony. The villagers are content to fish, farm and feast, to obey their nightly curfew, to do what they're told by the scientists. Until, to the horror of the islanders, one of their beloved scientists is found brutally stabbed to death, and then they learn that the murder has triggered a lowering of the security system around the island, the only thing that was keeping the fog at bay. If the murder isn't solved within 107 hours, the fog will smother the island and everyone on it. But the security system has also wiped everyone's memories of exactly what happened the night before, which means that someone on the island is a murderer, and they don't even know it, and the clock is ticking. The next book is another Waterstones exclusive edition called The Reappearance of Rachel Price. The dust jacket features chalkboard typography and blood red film reel motifs, capturing the tension between evidence and obsession. Along the stenciled edges runs a crisp black and white film strip, a clever nod to the story's documentary framing and the secrets caught on camera. It's bold, cinematic, and unmistakably modern, a design that turns the book itself into part of the mystery. A true crime-fueled mystery thriller about a girl determined to uncover the shocking truth about her missing mother, while filming a documentary on the unsolved case. 18-year-old Belle has lived her whole life in the shadow of her mom's mysterious disappearance. 16 years ago, Rachel Price vanished and young Belle was the only witness, but she has no memory of it. Rachel is gone, long presumed dead, and Belle wishes everyone would just move on. But the case is dragged up from the past when the Price family agreed to a true crime documentary. Belle can't wait for filming to end, for life to go back to normal. And then the impossible happens. Rachel Price reappears, and life will never be normal again. Rachel has an unbelievable story about what happened to her. Unbelievable, because Belle isn't sure it's real. If Rachel is lying, then where has she been all this time? And could she be dangerous? With the camera still rolling, Belle must uncover the truth about her mother and find out why Rachel Price really came back from the dead. Next we have We Live Here Now by Sarah Pimborough. This cover art evokes gothic tension. At the top sits a dark, imposing house with glowing windows, its red roof stark against a pale grey sky. Beneath the house, the ground bleeds into shadow, transforming into tangled root-like tendrils that stretch downward in crimson tones, giving the sense that the home itself is growing out of something sinister. Running down the stenciled edges is the spectral image of a bare, gnarled white tree, its branches twisting and clawing skyward, a perfect symbol for the roots of an ancient evil clinging to the story. After an accident that nearly kills her, Emily and her husband, Freddie, move from London to a beautiful Dartmoor country house called Larkin Lodge. The house is striking, but to Emily, something about it feels deeply wrong. Old boards creak at night, fires extinguish, and books fall from the shelves, all of it stemming from the terrible presence she feels in the third-floor room. But these things happen only when Emily is alone, so are they happening at all? She is still medically fragile. Her post-sepsis condition can cause hallucinatory side effects, which means she cannot fully trust her senses. Freddie doesn't notice anything odd and is happy with their chance at a fresh start. She, however, starts to believe the house is haunted by someone who had been murdered in it. As bizarre events pile up and her marriage starts to crumble, Emily becomes obsessed with discovering the truth about Larkin Lodge. But just as the house has secrets, so do Emily and her husband. This deluxe signed edition of If We Were Villains by M.L. Rio is an elegant collector's piece designed with theatrical sophistication. The cover is a deep black, featuring the title in metallic bronze script, bold yet graceful, evoking old playbills and candlelit stages. The edges are sprayed black, giving the book a seamless monolithic look when closed. A satin ribbon marker in a warm bronze hue adds refinement and practicality, matching the edition's golden typography. The overall design that perfectly mirrors the novel's tone, beautiful, brooding, and steeped in performance and betrayal. The end papers feature a subtle parchment-like texture, softly marbled with hints of grey and sepia, giving the impression of aged paper or the backstage walls of an old theatre. In the bottom corners, two small sparrows are delicately illustrated, one alive and alert on the right, the other lying still on the left. The imagery feels both poetic and tragic, echoing the novel's themes of life, loss, and the blurred line between performance and reality. The simplicity of the design allows the symbolism to breathe, quiet, haunting, and deeply evocative. This is a dark academia thriller set at an elite conservatory where 7 Shakespearean actors blur the line between performance and reality. When one of them ends up dead, the bonds of friendship, ambition, and jealousy unravel, leaving truth and illusion dangerously intertwined. The 5th anniversary edition of If We Were Villains by M.L. Rio, a volume dressed like a Shakespearean heirloom, bound in deep navy and framed in ornate gold, this edition radiates academic elegance and theatrical poise. The cover design echoes the grandeur of a Renaissance playbill. Gilded swords and curling ivy encircle the title like stage curtains drawn for a final act. Every element whispers of rivalry, ambition, and performance, a collector's edition worthy of the stage it celebrates. Inside, the end papers open to a moonlit lakeside scene, a quiet dock stretching toward dark waters beneath a canopy of shadowed trees. In the distance, a small boathouse waits its reflection, trembling across the water surface like a secret half-remembered. Rendered in rich grayscale ink, the illustrations carry the intimacy of stage lighting, soft shadows, candlelight, and quiet tension. Each scene feels like a still from a lost play. The style is expressive yet restrained, focusing on emotion and atmosphere rather than detail, as if memory itself had taken up a brush to paint the moments that refuse to fade. The next volume is as bold as its title, Not Quite Dead Yet by Holly Jackson. Set against a matte black background, the title bursts forward in stark white and blood red. Behind it glows a spectral blue MRI scan of a human brain, a chilling nod to the story's psychological edge and the blurred boundary between mind and mortality.
But it's the full edge that truly catches the eye.
It's not a plain white. Instead, it's splattered with dynamic, almost aggressive streaks and speckles of bright red resembling blood spatter. This artistic choice powerfully reinforces the thrilling, possibly dark or violent nature of the story contained within. Bound in vivid crimson, the cover is unadorned except for a small black foiled motif at its center, a series of 5 tally marks, the last forming the silhouette of a standing figure. It's a haunting design, minimal, modern, and perfectly aligned with the story's themes of identity, survival, and the count between life and death. The end papers are both eerie and ingenious. They display rows of glowing blue MRI brain scans against a black background, scientific, clinical, yet deeply unsettling. Hidden among the scans are small Halloween motifs, a ghost, a jack-o'-lantern, even a shovel with cartoonish X-eyes. It's a clever contrast, the precision of medicine colliding with the playfulness of horror, perfectly capturing Holly Jackson's blend of sharp intellect and dark fun. Next is Looking Glass Sound by Catriona Ward. The cover is hypnotic and unsettling, a visual echo of the book's dark, twisting narrative. Swirls of deep emerald green and inky black dominate the design, resembling waves caught between sea and nightmare. Amid the turbulence, the faint outlines of a coastal cottage overlooking the windswept Maine coast emerge above dark water, their reflections fractured and distorted below. The stenciled edges of Looking Glass Sound are immersive and atmospheric. They continue the swirling seascape from the cover, wrapping the story's coastal chaos around the entire book. The story starts with Wilder Harlow, and the last book he will ever write. It is the story of his childhood summer companions and the killer that stalked the small New England town, of the body they found and the horror of that discovery echoing down the decades, and of Skye, Wilder's one-time best friend, who stole his unfinished memoir and turned it into a lurid best-selling novel, Looking Glass Sound. But as Wilder writes, the lines between memory and fiction blur. He fears he's losing his grip on reality when he finds notes hidden around the cottage, written in Skye's signature green ink. The Illumicrate special edition of Starling House by Alex E. Harrow is a Gothic masterpiece of design, moody, mysterious, and utterly enchanting. Its clear plastic jacket, printed on transparent acetate, adds a breathtaking layer of depth. Dark starlings, golden flowers, and tiny stars swirl across the surface, forming a spectral wreath that seems to move as the light shifts. When placed over the hardcover, these details hover like ghosts above the misty mansion, creating a haunting three-dimensional illusion. The title, rendered in soft light grey, floats elegantly amid the shadows, a luminous whisper against the dark. Beneath this ethereal veil lies the naked hardcover, featuring a full wraparound illustration of the Starling House itself, a crumbling Victorian manor bathed in moonlight surrounded by fog, and forgotten gravestones under a star-streaked sky. The stenciled edges continue the theme adorned with dark feathers, leaves, and a golden key tucked among them, quiet nod to the secrets within. Inside, the end papers depict two figures meeting at the mansion's wrought iron gate, the air thick with mystery and unspoken tension. A grim and gothic tale about a small town haunted by secrets that can't stay buried in the sinister house that sits at the crossroads of it all. Eden, just another dying bad luck town, known only for the legend of East Starling, the reclusive 19th century author and illustrator who wrote The Underland and disappeared. Before she vanished, Starling House appeared, but everyone agrees that it's best to let the uncanny house and its last lonely heir, Arthur Starling, go to rot. The Fairlute special edition of The Last Tale of the Flower Bride by Roshani Chokshi is an exquisite piece of book artistry, lush, opulent, and steeped in Gothic fairy tale allure. The dust jacket blooms with deep violets and midnight blues, overlaid with gilded butterflies and two ornate golden keys crossed beneath the title. Along the stenciled edges, a haunting floral motif winds through images of a woman's face adorned with blossoms, both ethereal and unsettling, as if she is becoming one with the myth itself. Beneath the jacket, the naked hardcover unveils a breathtaking gold foiled design, two-mirrored peacocks framed within an elaborate arched window, their feathers cascading in intricate patterns of filigree. It gleams like a piece of antique jewelry, regal, mysterious, and impossibly refined. Inside, the end papers are a showstopper, radiant stained glass imagery in hues of violet, sapphire, and lilac. On one side, a woman stands before luminous peacocks and lilies beneath a crescent moon. On the other, her reflection, shadowed, fractured, and haunted by twisting branches. The symmetry is chillingly beautiful, a perfect echo of the story's duality between love and ruin, myth and memory. The special edition of Sundial by Catriona Ward is a bold and hypnotic design that mirrors the psychological intensity of the novel itself. The dust jacket pairs deep indigo with striking gold foiling, featuring a fierce stylized fox made entirely of intricate lines and patterns. The edges are a vivid, saturated orange, recalling both the sun-scorched desert setting and the novel sense of danger simmering beneath the surface. All Rob wanted was a normal life. She almost got it too: a husband, 2 kids, a nice house in the suburbs. But Rob fears for her oldest daughter Callie, who collects tiny bones and whispers to imaginary friends. Rob sees a darkness in Callie, one that reminds her too much of the family she left behind. She decides to take Callie back to her childhood home, to Sundial, deep in the Mojave Desert. And there, she will have to make a terrible choice. The mother and daughter embark on a dark desert journey to the past in the hopes of redeeming their future.